Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone? Happy Wednesday. As you can see, I am back to my usual little drives, although we're going in a little bit of a different area today. Different route anyway. Yeah, I brought my mask. So I am back. I never thought that anyone would ever say this in the world, but I want to go back to Florida where people know how to drive. Probably no one in the world would ever think that anyone would ever say that. But you know what? People here drive so badly. And I heard you hear all these stories about Florida drivers, right? And I got down there and I'm like, people were courteous. They didn't jump out in front of you. It was just totally different. So, yeah, I can't wait to go back and get away from the way people drive here. Um, my trip back was so long. We won't talk about my last night in the hotel. Some of you already know what happened, but I'll go into that on another time, maybe towards the end. But I will say that I'm going to preface this with live streaming is difficult to begin with. A lot of people don't realize just how difficult it is as far as when you get to the point where you want to have this equipment, you want to have that equipment, you want to make sure you have all this equipment with you. Just popping the camera up on the dashboard here and turning it on is nothing compared to when you're in a park and you need to have everything with you. And then add on to that, if you're going out of state, oh, they're having a graduation here. I forgot about that. They're having graduation this weekend. Are we okay? Yeah, we got a phone. We're okay. We're doing phone calls. But yeah, preface this with, or not preface, but just, I mean, think about it. You're driving, in my case, 450 miles away. And I did drive, so I could bring anything I wanted to bring. But if you are so far from home and you forget something, you have to make that decision. Do I buy this thing again, which I already have? Do I deal without it? Then when you're going into the park, you don't have the ability to just like run back and get something. So you're kind of like, what is that doing? Avondale Estates policemen's. They're getting ready for their graduation. So you don't have the ability to just run home and get it, really, or to do it again later. This is your one shot and done. Like Magic Kingdom, I was in there for one day. Epcot, I was in there for one day. And Epcot, I wish I would have gotten there earlier, but it was so hot. I will definitely be going back once it cools down. I do have my hotel manager gave me, just for out of nowhere, just gave me a ticket to SeaWorld. It's good until the end of the year. So I will be back before the end of the year because I definitely want to use that ticket. I have also found out that my limit for road trips is about 5 hours. And a lot of that is my inability to sit still in a confined space and my ability to want something to be done with and over, you know. I had planned on streaming while I drove, but that doesn't really work when you're by yourself on the interstate on roads you don't know. Like doing it here, I'm stopping at stoplights so I can see chat. When you're driving, see, that doesn't happen in where I was. That right there did not happen. Nobody pulls out in front of you and then drives slow. But I couldn't interact with chat. Here I stop at lights and stop signs. I can look and see who's on chat, and I know somebody's on there, and I will check that in a moment. I'm actually going to stop up here at the post office. But it's just different. And it was an exploratory trip. It really was. It started out as an exploratory trip because we wanted to move down there. I wanted to go down there and see things before I went down there. My travel agency. Yes, I'm a travel agent. If y'all don't know that already, hit me up if you want something. Uh, my travel agency added the training during the same month that I had planned to go down there. So I just kind of combined them two and then did all that. But if I definitely want to go back in the car. I just completely lost train of what I was thinking of. But oh yeah, 5 hours is my limit for driving road trip. So I will probably in the future stop somewhere along the way. And it will be somewhere to and somewhere from. It will be different. And it will be a place. Yes, you cannot park there because they are full and there's a giant parking lot in the back and across the street in which you can park. You don't have to park there. But I will, someplace I can explore and video, see what's for travel. I got a lot of content. I went in the parks, and before I ever went live, I went in the parks and wandered around and got a lot of content for my phone. I thought that the issue I was having was my content not offloading, but I'm not the only one that's having this issue. There's some kind of a glitch which cut our universal stream short. Some kind of glitch where it just wants to zoom in and then go black screen. And I don't know why it's doing that or what's causing it to do that, but it only, as far as I can tell, happens with iPhones. So I gotta hope that that gets fixed up before I come back again. People leave their door hanging open. Then I am going to run into the post office real quick, but before I do that, Francisco, welcome, Kate. I am in Atlanta. Actually, I'm in Decatur. Well, right now I'm in Avondale Estates, Georgia, but I'm in the Atlanta metro area. Jeff, welcome. Dave. It is good to see all of you. Jeff, it was great meeting you guys and the family. I did not go to Voodoo Donuts. Do you know why I didn't go to Voodoo Donuts, Dave? Because Revolution Donuts is just better. I could tell by looking at it. Revolution Donuts was just better. You need to come in here to Decatur. Let me know when you're going to be in Decatur, and I will take you to Revolution Donuts. My favorite there is the orange pistachio. But I can see why people really like Revolution Donuts because I'm sure it's not in a lot of places. See, now it's telling me I have 0 people streaming, watching. Is there anybody out there? My phone better not be acting up again. I'm going to have to get mad at it. You will, Dave. You will need to come down here and I will meet you at Revolution Donuts or somewhere else in Decatur. I'm going to start wandering around town again, doing things. I think I'm going to have to contact Revolution and see if. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are still there. YouTube is so weird. Anyway, I'm going to have to contact Revolution and see what they will let me do. If they'll let me come in and do something. Because man, they put Voodoo Donuts to shame. Voodoo Donuts, had I not been to Revolution Donuts, I would have been like, oh wow, cool. But yeah. And there's a lot of things around Decatur that are really good. There's White Bull, which is an Italian restaurant, but it's a farm to table Italian restaurant. It's not a red sauce Italian restaurant. And there's just so many things around here. And I need to start filming them all before we move away. But alas, this is not trip recap. And I need to run in here and grab my mail from the post office box. Yes, you guys, I have a post office box. The information is below. But I'm going to go run in there, and I'm probably not going to talk to myself while I'm doing this. I'm going to leave you guys here, and I will be right back. I'm going to make sure, yeah, that's it. I don't know what all these people out here are doing. Okay. I have not been to the post office box in a couple weeks, so this might be scary. And I don't know how far y'all are going to be able to hear me. Let's see if I can get to the parking lot without dying. I will say traveling on a Sunday was a good plan. And I'll get into that more in a minute when I know I won't get disconnected from you guys. Sneeze. Good timing to get my travel agency or travel magazine about Florida when I get back. What's the junk mail? Yay, nobody took you guys. I was hoping that nobody would kidnap you guys. I left my inhaler at home again. Guys, I left my inhaler at home when I went to Florida. That was bad. I could not breathe while I was walking around in the parks, and that made a huge difference in my enjoyment. So, traveling to and from, not only do you, I assume, have less traffic, although come on, phone. I assume that you not only have less traffic, although the lanes between the interstate, I don't need to put that back on. Okay, sorry, getting my stuff together here. The interstate between Atlanta and Orlando is always busy. It's 3 lanes the whole way until you get to the turnpike, which is 2 lanes. The amount of Amazon Prime trucks driving from Orlando to here is insane. And there were a few going back that way as well. And they do take the turnpike, which is funny. So they have to pay extra for that. But we you also avoid the construction. I avoided all the construction except for on my way back because I kept stopping because I kept getting guys, I made a 7-hour drive in 10 hours. But that has a lot to do with my last night in the hotel room, which I'll cover later. On the way back, they were starting to put the orange cones out in Atlanta, just south of Atlanta for the or north of Macon. It was just north of Macon, which I guess is also south of Atlanta, for the construction, Sunday night construction work on the interstate. That was crazy. But yeah, I find that driving on a Sunday during the day is best. And I had planned on getting out stupid early Sunday morning to come home so I could get it done. Florida and back, in Florida, everywhere, and it overheats and shuts down. I'm back. I am so sorry about that. I'm just chatting, so I don't even know where you guys got, where I dropped off. I don't even remember what I said, probably. So, anyhow, I drove all down there all day Sunday, got in the hotel room Sunday night, got myself situated, tried to find something to eat. Everything was closed, so I ended up buying ramen noodles, really expensive ramen noodles from them downstairs. Realized the next day, duh, there's a CVS right in front of the thing that had a full like grocery in it almost. Um, I also ordered from Firehouse at one point, which was actually also in the same parking lot as the hotel. And I didn't know it because it wasn't facing the hotel, it was facing the opposite way. So, got home, got my ramen noodles going, settled in, watched Monarch Moment stream, went to bed. The next day, I had Magic Kingdom. Tuesday, I had, and I didn't leave right away to go to Magic Kingdom because it was hot and I didn't get up early enough. Tuesday, I went to Epcot. I went pretty late to Epcot. Now, I went to one thing that's very important that a lot of people are not going to understand, know. During the pandemic, many of the shuttle operators went under. Everything is hiring down there. I mean, they're hiring waitresses at above minimum wage instead of tip credit, which I think is awesome and they should have been doing to begin with, but that's a whole nother string. So when I called and asked the hotel if they had shuttle service to Disney and Universal, they just said yeah. They did not specify that it left at one time during the day and it came back at one time during the day, and where it dropped you off was not necessarily the park that it picked you up at. And I didn't know how difficult it was going to be to go over and to go to Springs, Disney Springs. I didn't even know where Disney Springs was. So instead of going to Disney Springs and getting on the bus and taking the bus over to whichever park I was at for the day, I did not have Park Hopper. I just drove and parked. Parking is $25. Not happy about that. The tram is not working, so you walk a lot. Just before you even get in the park, you walk a lot. The Saturday, Diz Our Dream, Jeff and Angela, they're awesome park streamers that have moved down to Orlando from Pittsburgh, and they're super great people. They took me out to lunch in Disney Springs, and that's when I discovered that the Lime Garage is right there at the buses. So it's not a lot of walking. It's not confusing at all. It's very easy. You can see the buses from the parking garage. And I kicked myself in the butt for not doing that to begin with. So if you do not have a shuttle, if you are not staying on property, park at Disney Springs for free and take the shuttle, the buses. Just do it. It's not hard at all. It's very, very easy. Now, I have not been to Disney since the year before they built Epcot, since I was a kid. So I didn't have any recognition of any of this. I remember my dad driving into Magic Kingdom. We parked, we took the tram, then we took the monorail. And that's the extent of that I remember. So that's basically what I did, except for the tram. And then, so Tuesday was Epcot. Epcot was packed, and I didn't realize how dark it was going to get, and I wasn't really able to do everything I wanted to do. It was super hot during the day, and with me not having my inhaler, I waited until later in the day to go. I hope I don't lose you guys in here. So I waited until later in the day to go. I didn't get to, instead of just share, thank you. instead of doing like I did at Magic Kingdom, walking around and then streaming. I don't even think I streamed from Magic Kingdom, did I? No, I just did Epcot and Universal. Okay. Okay, I guess that you are going to be in my way here, so I cannot park. See, that does not happen where I was at. Everybody drove so nicely. He would have waited so I could pull into the parking space while he had to wait on the other car. Anyway, so I want to go back. I can't wait to go back and wander around because now I have my bearings. And that was the biggest thing that I can suggest is plan multiple days in each park, because you're going to miss things. You're going to have things that you wanted to do. If you've never been to Disney before, it's a lot of walking. You need to relax. You need to take your time. You need to, Universal too. You need to just have the time to do that. I missed out on Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. I really, really wish I could have gone to Animal Kingdom, to the safari. Epcot, a lot of stuff was closed that I wanted to see, and a lot of the stuff that I wanted to see was closed, and then it got dark, so I couldn't really see. The parks are still closing early, and there were a few things that I missed. Hi, Amy. There are a few things that I missed in seeing, and I like I said, I just cannot wait to go back and see more, see better. Today, this trip was all about getting my bearings and learning, and that's what I did. So now I can better sell. I can better give people advice. I can also better plan my next trip. I had a day off halfway through Wednesday where I was going, basically I just stayed in my room all day because I had work to do. I still had to work. That's why I was late, because I had to work in the mornings. I still worked in the mornings, and then on Wednesday I worked in the morning, and then I had some travel stuff I had to take care of, which took a big chunk out of the day. But it was raining on Wednesday. So not leaving the hotel room was not a big deal, because once I get the pictures processed, I'm going to post them. I didn't want to post them while I was in the hotel. I had an awesome view of SeaWorld and Icon Park. But on Wednesday, I'm watching the lightning hit down by Icon Park around the Ferris wheel and all that, which is pretty cool from my standpoint. Probably not from anybody who was there. And then let's see. That's dirty. I need to wash that. So Monday and Tuesday. So Monday, Magic Kingdom. Tuesday, Epcot. Thursday and Friday were Universal. Thursday, I went on my own. I wandered kind of on my own. I started out with resort tours. They gave our agency some tours of some of the resorts. Portofino Bay by far is my favorite, followed by Royal Pacific, and then Hard Rock. Those are the only three that we toured. Hard Rock is very small. If you are really into music, you're going to love it. If you are not, and I think it has the best pool by far out of any of them. So if you want to lounge by the pool, or if you're into music, I suggest Hard Rock. Royal Pacific has that Asian flair. Portofino Bay has that Italy flair, like Venice or what have you. And then I went to the park on Thursday with one of the other people from the agency, and we wandered around we just walked around, got bearings and stuff. And she taught me some things with the dining card. I know a lot of people don't like the dining card for Disney. However, for Universal, you get a great deal if you get the dining card. It's definitely worth it. I ate in the Today Cafe. The food was so good. I posted some of that. Um, I actually ate there Friday as well, just because I couldn't get my card to work properly and it was just a mess. But anyway, Friday, Friday, oh, and the nice thing about Universal is it's so easy to get around. If you're staying on property, you just take the water taxis. If you're staying off property, there's a parking deck where you can walk in through City Walk and get to the parks. It's very crowded in the morning. It moves, but it's very crowded. I suggest you can always probably park at one of the resorts too, but if they had not validated our parking at Royal Pacific, it would have cost me $50 to park. That's a lot. The Friday, Russ from What in the World is Russ, or What in the World with Russ, not What in the World is Russ. I keep saying that wrong. This is going to kill me. He was nice enough to come with me to Universal on Friday, and we walked around and we had a good time, and we streamed on Friday. I lost the stream just before going into Harry Potter, but in the Harry Potter area, but never fail. I have, the day before I took a lot of photos and videos of that region. So I'll put together a video for that. The videos are all going to take time coming out because, I'm getting my new machine to edit on Friday, and it's a lot of content. It is a lot of content. And I have to go through. So along with everything else I've got going on, that's just going to have to, trickle out. And then Saturday, I had great fun with Russ, and I really, really appreciate him coming with me on Friday. He actually came and picked me up at the hotel. Carol! That's okay, Carol. I was driving too. I'm about to go into Walmart and get some groceries and stuff. But I need to get moving soon because I do have the time crunches today. Saturday, I was going to get some work done and relax and go to bed early before my drive home. And then, and I was thinking about doing the SeaWorld ticket on Saturday, but then on Friday, it was the first day of the week that I used sunscreen. And of course, it was the day I got burnt. So I just really didn't want to be out in the sun all day on top of that on Saturday. So then Jeff and Ange contacted me and invited me to Disney Springs. So we went over there. We ate at Wolfgang Puck. And it was awesome meeting those guys in person. They are everything like they are on stream. They are in person. It is completely real. I told somebody one, I think I told Russ, I don't remember. Jeff reminds me of my dad, the way my dad was. And then, so I did that, and we went into the world of Disney. Now, I know you guys have heard me say that my Disney store was horrible. I mean, they've since closed, and they were very small because I was used to what I was seeing online on the streams. Well, when they stream from Disney Springs and go in the Disney store, they're going into the world of Disney, which is huge. It is huge, huge, huge. My Disney store probably fit with room to spare in one wing of that store, and they have many wings. So I had fun wandering around there. And then they had somewhere to be, and I needed to go back and relax and get ready, get packed up so I could leave in the morning. I had every intention of going to sleep early. I was in bed early. And then somebody on my floor, it's Saturday night in the hotel. I guess I should have known better. Somebody on my floor was having an argument. I mean, she was screaming, like screaming, and things were getting thrown. And at one point, it sounded like they were throwing furniture against the wall. And I called security, and they didn't even need to ask me what room. And then they come up I wasn't the only one that called. And then they come up and they were banging on their door, and I don't think they ever opened the door for them. I don't know what happened with that, but they quieted down for a minute, and then it started up again with less banging. And then they were in and out of their room. And I don't know if you've ever been in a hotel when people open and close the door, it it echoes through the hotel. The hotel itself is really nice. It's really super nice. There were a couple hiccups, and anytime, it had been recently remodeled. There were a couple hiccups, and anytime there was a hiccup, they fixed it, like, right away. So anyhow, I ended up not going to sleep till like 3 or 4 in the morning. So my getting out of there by 7 o'clock in the morning was just out the window. I ended up waking up around 8 and started packing up around 9. And then unfortunately, the hotel only has one luggage cart because it's not a big hotel. They have one luggage cart, and somebody was unloading their car. So I'm like, okay, I'll just wait. So I'm hanging around in the lobby talking to the dude at the front desk, and he goes to go get the guy, and he's like, hey, go to room such and such to get the cart and bring it back down. Follow them up there so you can bring the cart back down for her. And I said, oh, that's my floor. Well, let me, that's just a couple doors down from me. Let me just go and follow them. I'll stop them and take the cart from them when they're done. Well, by the time I got up there, I saw them taking the cart into their room and the door shutting. So I didn't really get a chance to say anything. And so I waited outside. I figured it'd just be a few minutes before they came back out with it. Ooh, I can get Calm for free from Kaiser. Cool. I'll have to get that. Anyway, so 15 minutes later, I went and got a maid to knock on their door to get it back. So, and I had to go to get something at CVS, and there was a snafu with my billing. And by the time I got out, it was 11:30. It was like craziness, and there was so much traffic. I mean, it wasn't crazy traffic. It was just a lot of people on the roads. But that was my trip. I came back. Oh, on the way back, I stopped at Buc-ee's. There's a Buc-ee's. I was going to stop at it on the way down, but it was too early to stop, and I didn't want to do. Ooh, Square has savings account now. Interesting. All kinds of things are happening. I didn't want to stop on the way down because it was too soon to stop, really. And so on the way back, I stopped at Buc-ee's in Warner Robins, which is just south of Macon. It's in the Macon area. It's like Macon adjacent. And I know I give you guys flack for Wawa. And I will say, when I was in Florida, there was a Wawa by my hotel. I went into the Wawa. Wawa is on Grubhub. I don't know why. I was not impressed. I'm sorry. I cannot give you Wawa. Quick Trip, we have Quick Trip here, is so much cleaner, so much better. Even Racetrack, it looked like the way it was set up looked like a dirty racetrack. One of the racetracks that they've rebuilt, like a smaller version of a dirty racetrack. Anyway, it could just have been that Wawa. I was in a Wawa in Jersey as well, and I came out with the same generic feeling. So I can't give you that. Now, Buc-ee's, oh my gosh. If you ever have a chance to go to a Buc-ee's, go to a Buc-ee's. You know how you go to your little neighborhood Ace Hardware and they have the little areas where you can get tchotchkes and different things? They had that on a bigger scale. They had a bakery. You can get fudges and candies and donuts and all kinds of things. They had a restaurant. They had so much in there, and it was probably almost as big as the world of Disney. And it was just, I definitely have to agree. Because from seeing the videos that I had seen, I wasn't that impressed. I'm like, so they have a lot of gas stations. Everybody talks about all the gas stations they have. I forgot my water. But it's not about the gas stations. They're just, it's good that I don't have one here because I would spend way too much money there, especially if it's open 24 hours. I used to live on the other side of town. We had a truck stop that was open 24 hours. And where I grew up, we had 2 truck stops that were open 24 hours. So I would go, and that was before there was a lot of 24-hour places around. And I was a night person. So I would go and hang out in the truck stops. Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. I did not film in Buc-ee's, and I should have. When I go through next time, I will. I figure there's a lot of people that have already been filming Buc-ee's. And just so everybody knows, the Monarchs are driving home today, so have good thoughts for their safe and fun travels. They're driving home from Disneyland. If you haven't checked it out, they did some live streams from Disneyland. I missed yesterday's because I think I fell asleep before they started streaming. I have to like start going to bed early and getting up early. I have this new plan for my life, and I wish they could stream earlier. I wish California wasn't such a time difference. But anyway, so I think I need to go in. Garrett, if you are listening to me, I do not need to know that. That is TMI. Um, Garrett's sending me crazy messages. Uh, I'm going to spare you guys about that. So I am going to go into Walmart. I have a few things I need to get done, get back home. I have so much stuff to get caught up on and so much to do. That is just my quick recap. I will do another live stream maybe later today, maybe it's sometime soon that talks about my plans going forward now that I have bearings as far as what is down there and where I want to be. I overall have decided I'm not going to go down there and just move into something just for now that might be yicky until I get on a better footing. No, we're gonna do this right. So I'll go into all that on my next stream. It may be today, it may be tomorrow, it may not be. You know how good I am at timing things out and scheduling. That is another thing in my plan. I need to get better at that. So I'm gonna take you guys away from this wonderful, wonderful wall of, I don't know why it's splotchy like that. It's concrete. It's just like they decided to put mud on the wall, concrete on the wall. It's not dirt. It's like they took spatulas and put concrete all over the wall. And they did on all of it. I'm assuming it's got a reason behind it. I don't know what that reason is. But okay, I'm going to go. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. If I don't talk to you later, I will see you at some point. Today is Wednesday. I don't know if Monarchs will be streaming tonight. If they are, I will see you there. If not, I will probably see you in another one at some point. And I'm going to go. So have fun and be well and enjoy yourself.